New Elantra is installed with the MDPS of Mobis in standard. For input and output elements, calculating input elements of steering torque, steering angle, vehicle speed inputted by CAN communication, and engine RPM, the current value of MDPS motor and warning lamp are controlled. For the main components, there are MDP-SCM, motor, steering angle sensor detecting the steering angle with torque, and column. For power supply, the motor power is supplied from the battery and the MDP-SCM power is supplied through the cluster fuse. The motor is the brushless type AC motor using a battery as power. The rated current is 78 ampere. The rated torque is 3.7 Newton meters. The rated RPM is 1000 RPM. Let's see the operating sequence. At first, driver steers the steering wheel, then the torsion bar detecting the distortion of the tire and steering column is distorted. At this time, the torque sensor detects the distortion of the torsion bar. The light radiated from the element transmits to the two discs through the light guide. The shadow generated by the light transition is detected by a receiving element called as the 128 of the linear arrays detecting the cells. At this time, the distorted amount of torsion bar makes the difference in the shadows on the two discs. The linear arrays detect this shadow to decide whether it is a left turn or right turn. Averaging the detected values by the two torque sensors, this average is sent to the MDP-SCM as the torque sensor. The MDP-SCM controls the motor current based on the calculated value. As the torque sensor recognizes the absolute angle, the absolute steering position should be calibrated. It should be conducted in all conditions in which the wheel alignment is changed. At first, in the power steering items of scanner, select the ASP calibration. Check that the steering angle is within the plus or minus 5 degree range and press the Enter key. After that, turn the steering wheel until a message is output. That is, when the Enter key is pressed on the scanner, it is recognized as 0 degrees. After that, the 0 point for recognizing the absolute angle by calculating the angle to the base point is set. At the initial item of the scanner, set the steering wheel to the straight ahead, that is, within plus or minus 5 degree range, and press Enter in IG on state. After being IG off and waiting for 20 seconds, set IG on, then the steering angle initialization is conducted. If the steering angle initialization is not conducted after replacing with a new MDPS assembly, then the EPS warning lamp blinks. However, when a used MDPS assembly is replaced, the lamp does not blink. When a brand new MDPS is replaced, the variant coding should be set. This is the logic considering the difference of steering effort per region. In the power steering item of the scanner, after selecting the EPS type recognition, select the General or Europe. After being IG off and waiting for 20 seconds, set IG on. The MDPS installed at the new Elantra is newly applied with the overheat protection function. When driver turns the steering wheel to the end when U-turning, the current value assisted by the motor drops from 78 amperes to 31 amperes by 40% in order to protect the internal circuit. If the driver steers the steering wheel by only using one side for U-turning, as shown on the screen, the driver may feel that the steering wheel pulls his or her arm. Please be advised that this is not abnormal. In case of the vehicle equipped with ABS, The vehicle speed of MDPS is as the value of the right wheel speed sensor received from the engine ECM via CAN. With manual transaxle spec, the vehicle speed is received from the engine ECM via CAN. If the speed detecting sensor, such as the right wheel speed sensor or vehicle speed sensor, is electrically faulty, then the MDPS CM recognizes the vehicle speed as 0 km per hour and there is no error code. For the error codes, C1103. This is the error code when IG on signal is electrically faulty. As the IG on power is the MDPS CM start power, if the power is not supplied at IG on, then the MDPS is not working. If IG on power is cut during driving, that is, the vehicle speed input is 3 km per hour or more via CAN, and the IG on signal is cut, the motor current before cutting is maintained for 10 seconds. For 60 seconds, the current value is slowly decreased. After 60 seconds, it enters into the 40 km per hour mode. C1261. The ASP calibration for the steering angle sensor was not completed. C1616. CAN error. When C1616 occurs, please be advised that the motor will assist the steering wheel normally. Be sure that the MDPS for replacement is supplied in assembly state. Let's see the cautions at service work finally. At first, when steering wheel is assembled or disassembled, do not use hammer and the like. Secondly, the disassembling and connecting of the connector should be conducted in the ignition off condition. Finally, the MDPS system is supplied with the motor and column shaft as an assembly. Therefore, it should not be disassembled.